African Americans. African Americans, one of the largest of the many ethnic groups in the United States. African Americans are mainly of African ancestry, but many have non-black ancestors as well. African Americans are largely the descendants of enslaved people who were brought from their African homelands by force to work in the New World. Nevertheless, African Americans have made basic and lasting contributions to American history and culture. At the turn of the 21st century, more than half the country's more than 36 million African Americans lived in the South. 10 southern states had black populations exceeding 1 million. Names and labels. In the 21st century, the terms Black and African American both were widely used. The early history of blacks in the Americas. The uninterrupted history of blacks in the United States began in 1619, when 20 Africans were landed in the English colony of Virginia. By the 1660s, large numbers of Africans were being brought to the English colonies. In 1790, blacks numbered almost 760,000, made up nearly one-fifth of the population of the United States. Of an estimated 10 million Africans brought to the Americas by the trade of enslaved peoples, about 430,000 came to the territory of what is now the United States. With the increasing profitability of slavery and the trade of enslaved peoples, some Africans themselves sold captives to the European traders. The captured Africans were generally marched in chains to the coast and crowded into the holds of slave ships for the dreaded Middle Passage across the Atlantic Ocean, usually to the West Indies. Shock, disease, and suicide were responsible for the deaths of at least 1/6 during the crossing. In the West Indies, the survivors were seasoned, taught the rudiments of English, and drilled in the routines and discipline of plantation life.